What's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Tarun's Thoughts. My name's Tarun Shetty. These are my thoughts. Hope you guys are doing well. It's another great weekend coming up, huh? I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for asking. Everything's good. I'm just trying to keep busy. I got this dinner in an hour with a good friend of mine, so thought I would just check in. I had a good week, and by good I mean I didn't do very much. In fact, this week I was like, I'm not gonna chase these spots and go to any shitty open mics, and I was like, if I'm not booked anywhere, so be it. I called in at Flappers in Burbank, the club I'm usually at. They didn't give me any spots. And lo and behold, I did this fundraiser last week at some comedy club in Simi Valley, and they were like, hey, do you want to come by last night, Friday? They were like, want to do a guest spot on the show? And I was like, yeah, perfect. So I drive up there, it's like an hour away, and the headliner was this guy named Bobby Collins. For you guys who are not comedy fans, there's this upper echelon of comedians from like the 80s, maybe early 90s, who were just, when comedy was different, there was a comedy boom, and a lot of guys were just on TV all the time. I mean, there were like the Lenos, the Seinfelds, but underneath that, there were these guys who were just like big comedy acts, like guys who were just draws in the clubs. And Bobby Collins was one of those guys. In fact, I remember being in Boston and Bobby Collins came to the Comedy Connection, this place that I used to, hang out at and dream of performing there. And Bobby Collins would headline it, and he'd come by like once a year or whatever. So I'm on the show last night, and they're like, oh, Bobby Collins is headlining this. And I was like, oh, really? It's like this small room. It's like 20 people in the room. And lo and behold, Bobby walks in, right? And I was like, dude, I used to watch you when you came by the Comedy Connection in Boston, and he asked me how old I was. And I was like, dude, this was like 25 years ago, man. And, we were talking. And the great thing about comedy, it's like, if you're a comic, you kind of just get along with other comics, especially if you've kind of been through the ringer. And I didn't ask him any dumb questions. He's hilarious. He was making me laugh off stage. So I go up and I do well. And sometimes when I open for other guys, I'm like, man, I hope I don't do too well, because sometimes, it's hard for them to follow me. Not like I'm this great comedian, but I can turn it on, like just do all my A stuff. And I was kind of doing that last night because it's a new room for me. And I was like, man, I got to make sure they ask me back. But I was like, oh, I hope I didn't make it too hard for Bobby. And of course, he goes on and just blows the room out of the water. Like, they forgot about me in like 2 minutes. And I was like, oh yeah, this guy's been headlining like 40 years, man. Like, I can do whatever. I can juggle on stage. Like, I can do whatever I want. He'll be fine. And he was great. It was awesome to see that. It just put things into perspective for me, because sometimes I'm like, yeah, everybody wants to be a star. Like, sure, I'll take that in a heartbeat. Like, give me a sitcom tomorrow or a TV show. But, man, the comics out there, they're still grinding no matter what level you're on. The great thing that I took away from this was that, like, on stage, this guy was a super pro. Like, there was no extra air, Like, he just was tight. And it's refreshing to see, because I've complained about this before. A lot of comedy now, you watch acts, younger acts especially, and, like, the craft is just... the craft is gone. So it was really cool for me to see that on stage and just, elevate my own game. So it's a good weekend. Even though I'm not performing anywhere tonight or tomorrow, I felt like I got a lot out of last night, and, the journey continues. I hope you guys have a great week. We'll talk soon. Take care.